And what's all this over here, Scarbs?
Right,
It's a bit
this
like
is
something out of your kitchen cupboard or something. Isn't it?
well, yes, it's all out of the garage and partly.
You've always got something there, haven't you? That's
I've always
brilliant,
I've always got bits and pieces going on.
Disc brake, right?
Disc brake.
Yeah.
So this is related obviously to Lewis Hamilton's problem, free practice 3 in Austria, where we saw him had a brake failure, and what was quite obvious is that the brake disc had disintegrated. Mercedes, to their credit, were very quick to say that it wasn't a brake disc problem, but it was a problem with the way the disc was mounted. So you have a front axle, and the disc assembly splines onto this. But what you will actually find is the important part is what we call this brake disc bell, which is a carefully machined piece of titanium here, and this
beautifully machined
holds on between the disc and the axle, and it's the interface between these splines and the disc that are the problem. So if there's any problem with the tolerances in the machining or the way that the assembly's been done, it puts great pressure on this disc, and although the disc is carbon fibre, it's still very brittle, and that appears to be what the problem was. We haven't had the full explanation from Mercedes, but it's definitely in this area.
So the teams are making all these in-house, these disc bells?
Well, teams can make them. Brembo will make them for the Brembo running teams. It's really up to the team whether they want to manufacture them themselves or if they want to sub it out. Certainly Brembo like to manufacture.
But is there a performance gain in design of a disc bell from one team to another, or is it pretty much
probably not? The most important thing is that you get the interface, which is standard on all of the suppliers' discs. Absolutely right. Any problem there, which we saw previously with Mercedes in 2014, I seem to recall it was, leads to disc failures. And the one thing you can't afford in a Formula One car have any kind of problem with your brakes.
But how do they know if the failure was here or on the spline?
They came out very quickly and explained that it wasn't a disc problem. So they obviously had an understanding of what
considering
happened.
It wasn't in great shape once it had exploded.
Yes, so but they were very quick.
And here we have,
here we have a Formula One clutch,
tiny little Formula One clutch,
and the actuation mechanism.
Brilliant.
So this was obviously related to Verstappen's first lap, if you can even call it a complete lap, where even during the warm-up lap he said he was feeling problems with the clutch, and that at the start the clutch didn't operate properly and the car tried to stall, the anti-stall system cut in. Obviously he lost lots of space, gathered it all back up only to be sort of punted off the track in that first corner melee. And what he was explaining is that the clutch wasn't actuating properly, it wasn't being engaged and disengaged. And this is all done by this clutch outer casing with hydraulics. You move this bearing in and out, which brings the clutch in and out of engagement. And when he then went to try and pull away after that first corner incident, the bearing inside, which obviously does all of the work and spins at engine speed, 12,000 RPM, failed, left him with no clutch actuation. He couldn't continue the race and was sadly another retirement for Verstappen.
It's amazing when you look at the clutch, the 4 tiny little plates there, and how much torque, power, weight, energy,
when you
heat
think it's
goes
nearly
through them.
nearly 1,000 horsepower now, going through something that's just 98 millimetres in diameter.
It's a very good example of 2017 F1 technology.
And it's mature technology. They've been running these clutches now for many years. They're generally very reliable.
Mostly AP clutches, right?
Mostly AP clutches. Sachs also do a clutch,
Ferrari.
I believe, for Ferrari. I'm not sure if they're still supplying them. And just a kilo, which is absolutely incredible.